Gil Martin here, and welcome everybody to today's episode of the Daily Packers Post, where we bring you in-depth videos on your Green Bay Packers every day, Monday through Friday. Hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode, and you can also check out our website at thepackerspost.com for in-depth articles on the Packers. Today, we take a look at 10 things we learned from the Packers' 10-7 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles in week 10. This was a defensive struggle that went down to the final play, but Brandon McManus's 64-yard field goal as time expired was short and wide and really not very close. And the Packers lose this game by a 10-7 score. The 7 points, by the way, the lowest total for the Packers since week 1 back in 2021. They are now 5-3-1 on the season. The Eagles improved to 7-2. And with that in mind, here are 10 things we learned from this game. Number one, the Packers defense did a good job containing Saquon Barkley, especially on the ground. Barkley carried 22 times for just 60 yards. That's 2.7 yards per attempt, and his longest gain on the ground was just 15 yards. The defense did a good job of rallying to the ball, and they were not overwhelmed or beaten badly for most of this game by a very strong Philadelphia Eagles offensive line. So, it even came to the point where in the second half, up 10 points, the Eagles are trying to run the ball with Barkley to close out the game, and the Packers forced a turnover on downs and gave the offense at least one slim chance to try to at least tie the game. The most successful runner for Philadelphia was actually quarterback Jalen Hurts, who gained 27 yards on 5 carries. But basically, by stopping the Eagles' rushing attack, the defense helped keep the Packers in a game despite the fact that the offense never really got on track. Number two, the offense never got into a rhythm, and this was frustrating. Yes, it was cold, it was windy, but the team gained only 261 total yards. They had 10 drives and punted 5 times, lost 2 fumbles, turned it over on downs once, missed a field goal, and then only had 1 scoring drive, which did not come until they were down 10-0 midway through the fourth quarter. The offense just never seemed to find its rhythm, never seemed to be able to move the ball on a consistent basis, and it never really adjusted to what was going on the field. Number 3, the turnovers were costly. The Packers lost 2 fumbles. The first came at the end of the first half, Green Bay's final possession. Jordan Love desperately trying to throw an incomplete pass to prevent a sack, but the ball was knocked out of his hands before then, and it was ruled a fumble. The drive ended at the Eagles' 27, so just outside the red zone. But even if you kick a field goal and go into the half up 3-0, it really changes the tone of the game. The second fumble comes with less than 2 minutes left. Josh Jacobs fumbling on a 4th-and-1 running play. The Eagles recover. Now the Packers had an illegal formation, so even if Jacobs would have picked up the first down, that would have been nullified, but it gave the Eagles the ball with 1 minute and 26 seconds left. So both of these turnovers prove costly. Number 4, Matt LaFleur's play calling is still an issue for this team. I understand the weather. I understand you're going up against a top defense, but why no up-tempo moves, no huddle? Why not go to more short, quick release passes to get the ball moving and to mix things up, to get a little jump on this defense? Also, that 4th down run that was stopped and Josh Jacobs fumbled on, running out of the shotgun on 4th-and-1, not the best play call. Yeah, you're trying to surprise the Eagles, perhaps spread it out and then run up the middle, but they read the play. They knew exactly what was happening. They stuffed it and they turned the ball over. Matt LaFleur has to work on his in-game adjustments to when things are not working. What's plan B? What's plan C? The second half of the season, you've got tougher opponents. There is precious little margin for error. Number 5, the pass rush was limited, and it looks like at this point, opposing coaches have figured out how to limit or neutralize the Packers' pass rush. The Packers did not record a sack or even a quarterback hit in this game. Now, there were some pressures, including a couple of key plays by Micah Parsons, but opposing teams have learned if they release the ball quickly, they can have some success with the short passing game and limit the impact of the Green Bay pass rush. So, Jeff Hafley, it's up to you now to try to figure out a counter strategy. Number 6, the Eagles didn't have many big plays, but the few that they had really hurt. 2 in particular, which were on back-to-back plays and resulted in the Eagles' only touchdown drive. The first, a short pass to Barkley that gained 41 yards, and that set up on the very next play a 36-yard touchdown pass to Devonta Smith. So, those 2 explosive plays were more or less it. The Eagles just had one other play all game long that gained more than 20 yards. But in a defensive struggle where each team only scores 1 touchdown, those 2 plays were enough to beat the Green Bay Packers. Number 7, the Green Bay running game never really got on track. And on a cold, blustery day, you're going up against an Eagles team that has an explosive offense, that has a good defense. You need to get that running game going. Well, Josh Jacobs, 21 carries for 74 yards. That's a 3.5-yard average. Not terrible, but not great. His longest run was 11 yards. He did score the only touchdown of the game for the Packers. He is such a good weapon in the red zone, and with the injuries that they have, it's even more important to get him going in the red zone. But boy, the running game, the run blocking just isn't there. And the Packers need to work on this because the weather's only going to get colder. And as we said, the schedule is only going to get tougher. Number 8, injuries hurt the team again. Center Elton Jenkins goes down with an injury. Someone rolled over his leg. He did not return. They moved Sean Ryan in at center. The results, at least on first viewing, were mixed. Romeo Doubs also left the game early. He did not return. The Packers were already without Matthew Golden. They had Dontavian Wicks back. Bo Melton even stepped in and moved back to wide receiver from cornerback. But, no Matthew Golden, no Romeo Doubs, no Tucker Kraft, obviously. Without Kraft and Doubs, those are Love's go-to receivers on short and intermediate routes. And again, in a game like this, their absence was definitely felt. The blocking, the loss of Jenkins was felt. The injuries did hurt. Number 9, let's not blame Brandon McManus for missing the game-tying field goal on the final play. You're talking about a 64-yard kick. It would have been the longest field goal in Lambeau Field history. We've mentioned the weather conditions. It's a low percentage attempt, but I give Matt LaFleur credit for this. The odds of McManus making that field goal were higher than the odds of a Hail Mary working on that last play. So I think LaFleur made the right choice to try the field goal, but I can't blame McManus for not connecting on a 64-yard kick. And then number 10, it's time for this team to regroup. They lost 2 straight at Lambeau, something that does not happen often. The schedule gets tougher, but first, the Packers travel to the Meadowlands to take on the New York Giants. Giants just fired Brian Daboll, their head coach, on Monday before the Packers-Eagles game. So, we're not sure exactly what to expect from the Giants, but now this is almost a must-win game for the Packers. You can't lose 3 straight. Green Bay no longer in first place in the NFC North. It's a conference game. You need to get back on track and regroup. So Don't forget to visit our website at thepackerspost.com for in-depth articles on the Packers. Here on YouTube, hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode of the Daily Packers Post. I'm Gil Martin. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe, and of course, go Pack Go.